Hi, my name is Will Nunziata, New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film, and also proud FENIX Global Artist Ambassador. Today, I am thrilled to introduce to you an amazing singer, songwriter, guitarist, Matt Schneider. For more on Matt, you can read more about him right below this video, but in the meantime, here's a sneak peek at the amazing talent of Matt. Well, hello, Matt. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And I'm excited that the audience has got a little sneak peek of your talent. I want to know, Matt, where'd you grow up and when did you realize that you had such a love of music?
I'm from Long Island, New York, and I started super young. I'm kind of lucky for that. I was around like 3 years old when I started picking up things around the house that resembled a guitar and pretending to strum it. And I guess my parents sort of picked up on that. And by the age of 4, I was afforded the ability to start taking lessons like locally to my house. That's really how it got started. And I just I've kept with it, ever since then.
That's amazing. I can relate. I started young as a singer, began professionally very young, but I also love in your talent, Matt, that you're not shackled to one genre. You kind of do a little bit of everything, but I want to know where that love of all the genres came from for you.
Yeah, well, like I said, I've been doing this for so long that I've had multiple different teachers and I've played with so many different people that I've really been able to like get a really nice blend. Everyone's been like really different in my experience. So I guess over the course of like the last 16 years, I've just been able to like acquire all of those different tastes from just different people. Naturally I became influenced by that too. And when people ask me like, what's my favorite style of music? I just say, I love it all. And I play all different types too. And now that I'm doing my own stuff mostly, I'm trying to adapt a cover to sort of like my style. I tend to have my own sort of theme or kind of like my own style of playing. But I love it all. I've really got a nice, good range.
What I love about you, Matt, is that it seems like every experience that you've had in your young career, but also so accomplished, is that every person that you've come across in every genre, it's kind of like these little tools that you've picked up and put it in your tool belt. But now through you, the vessel, you've been able to filter through your authentic voice. I'm curious to know, if the music that you're creating now, what you're most excited about the world seeing in the coming months.
Yeah, I mean, to me right now, whenever I'm doing a gig or I'm starting to release, everything is a first impression. And so I'm trying to nail every single moment that I'm putting out there. I think just for people to actually hear what I can do creatively in terms of like my writing is something I'm really excited about, because people have just seen me just play songs everybody knows and enjoy them. And now that I've started to play these originals for people live, it's kind of like a nice surprise, I think, for people to see, wow, like, he's got something to say. So I think I'm excited to sort of share, and all my music it's about my life. I can't really write fiction. So I think just a cool way to tell a portion of my story through my favorite vehicle, which would be music.
That's amazing. I mean, and also for someone so young to also already know that whole notion of, write what you know. And the fact of the matter is too, Matt, we've all been, as humans, but also artists through this time, really an opportunity for many to really investigate why we do what we do. I'm curious to know, in this horrible time, these past 18 months, how you've been able to use the time as an artist.
Yeah, well, quarantine forced all live musicians to cease their work, obviously, live playing. And some people switched over to live streams and stuff like that and were able to make a little bit of money online. But if you weren't really established, you were kind of stuck in the mud. For me, quarantine really and then just the whole like staying inside in general, like it made me kind of force myself to write. And writing has sort of been a little love-hate. Before that, it was just kind of tedious. It was something I always, you want to do it, you want to be good at it. But I think like anything, you got to write a lot of bad songs to get a good one. If that, you're lucky if you get a good one. And what defines a good one? It's all kind of, it's kind of like right time, right place. but quarantine, I had nothing else to do. So I actually created an Instagram account to sort of just post videos of me playing guitar online. That kind of kept me sane. And alongside that, I just started writing. And I think, you're kind of alone with your thoughts during quarantine a lot, and you're able to really actually find out a lot about yourself. So I was able to pour that out through songwriting. So I actually am very grateful. Unlike, and I'm happy I'm able to find something positive, I guess, out of the pandemic in that sense. But I'm grateful for the time that I had to start writing. And now I've got a laundry list of music that I've written since then, and I'm set to start releasing and playing them. So
yeah, that's amazing. I want to know, because you're so young, but you relate to kids of all ages. I want to know, for kids out there, especially the kids who might not have the courage or are overthinking this whole notion of writing their own music and taking that leap. You have such a savvy about you, Matt. It's as if, like, you know what it is, an audience is kind of sometimes expecting. It's like, okay, he's played the covers, now do you have something to say? For those kids out there who are afraid to take that leap, what would you advise them to do to kind of move through that fear?
I think people really respect everyone for trying more than anything. I think if you have someone who just doesn't get off the couch and try something new, or try to expose himself in a certain way, you're not going to get any sort of feedback or reaction. And people really respect one's ability to, like, sack up and show people what you're made of. And even if you make a mistake, you're commended for trying. And eventually you have to keep doing it. It's trial and error, and you'll get better at it. And I think it's everyone that's proud of you for trying, and really just having the courage to get up and whether it's play live, because stage fright that's a problem for everybody, including myself at one point. But eventually I stopped taking myself so seriously, and I broke the ice, and now I love nothing more than to be on stage in front of people. And it was just a matter of just, like, you got to just get yourself to do it and realize that people will respect, even if you mess up. People just, they like the fact that you're trying it, and you have to show up. You got to show up to in order to do it.
Right. And also, on top of that, Matt, I think you're also bringing up a great point that I love hearing you say. And again, such a a savvy and someone far older in their understanding of what it takes to step up to the starting line, in that people will respond to vulnerability, because that's what makes you relatable.
Yeah, for sure. I think there's a very it's very relatable to other people to do something that's new, or something that you're scared of. And 9 times out of 10 people don't do it. They kind of just, I think for me, I there had been things when I was younger, chickened out on, and then I just watched everyone do it, and I was like, damn it, I really wish I'd done that, because what's the worst that could have happened? I can't be any lower than I am now. So I think you got to just be confident too that, like, it will work. You got to make a lot of mistakes first, and that's inevitable. You got to understand that, like, you can't expect yourself to come out of the gate perfect. You could aim for perfection, but you got to realize, like, mistakes are really good. And like, I've done plenty of gigs now where I wouldn't do anything the same like I did the first one. But if I hadn't done the first one, I'd have no idea what not to do. And knowing what not to do is just as important as knowing what you should be doing too. So
Matt, you need to do a TED Talk. I'm telling you, friend. You're fantastic. I could speak with you forever, but in the meantime, I want to let our audience know for more on Matt. You can read more about him right below this video. Matt, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. It's great talking to you.
You too.